All righty, honey. Deja Lee said the code in the picture that I have is missing a number. Can you do me a favor? Can you post my number? It's 853-298-8490. Thank you for pointing that out. That was one of them fast things. If you could post that on out so people can get on, that'd be great. Good morning, everybody. Can't y'all tell when I want to do something like I want to hear this song and I'm trying to let it go. I had to call myself on out. Good morning, y'all. This morning's topic is finding your leader voice. And what is it? And what is a leader? Do I possess the qualities of it? Can everybody be a leader? You know, what is it? So the reason why I did this training, so this training will be it works focused. Okay, so it's not just about being a leader in the world. It's about being a leader within it works. What does that look like? And a lot of the things in which I talk about can be used in life, can be used in like you'll find with your kids, your husband, but literally having the ability to understand what a leader is, I think is really important. So I'll start on out. Number one, and I was trying to figure out what was the best way to say what that was without making somebody feel like, oh, that's not me. I don't possess that. I can't do that. A leader is literally a person who takes initiative to push other people in a higher direction. That's literally what a leader is. We hear the comments that say, leaders create other leaders, which is true. But I think it scares the stew out of people because then they be like, oh, my God. So if I don't have this right, this perfect, this everything, then I'm not a leader. You know, I can't move them forward. When in all actuality, that's not true. So we're going to talk about that portion in a second. Also, too, in being a great and a phenomenal leader, you have to know those qualities of one that makes you great. I did not say perfect. Because perfection is where people get tripped up all the time. They don't want to do anything until it's perfect. Well, really, the core common value or core thing that every entrepreneur has, you want to know what every entrepreneur has? They're willing to take a risk. They're willing to pull the trigger. They're willing to go. That's literally it. And that doesn't mean that they're right. Just so you know that. That doesn't mean that a leader is right or an entrepreneur is right because they pull the trigger. But it is something you must be able to possess. You want to know why? Because you don't want to just be sitting back like, should I be doing this? Shouldn't I? Should I call people? Shouldn't I do this? Like, literally, you have to be able to do that to be successful, to get out there, trip over your shoelaces, fall on your forehead, learn from it, and then be like, oh, next time if my shoelaces come on out, I may hit my forehead. That's literally what an entrepreneur is. So I'll say this, because I know you all have been joining trainings. I have been seeing the posts down. I have been getting inbox messages. So I appreciate everybody for that. Thank you so much. Because when I know that there is value, which is what a leader does, just so you understand that, when a leader gives value, overvalue at time frame. Okay, now my station tripping. Okay, so a leader overgives value, overgives it. But I got to make sure that when I'm talking to a room, I'm giving valuable information. That's what a leader wants to be able to do. So somebody inboxed me this question about a week ago, and they were like, what was the question? Dang it, I lost it. Can everyone be a leader? Can everyone be a leader? Let me tell you, yes. People do not come out of the womb leading. They don't walk out of it dancing. They don't walk out of it marching to the beat of their own drum. That's not how it happens. Over the course of time, with being intentional, with focusing, with pushing yourself in one direction, being intentional. Everything we've been talking about, being intentional. Whatever you focus on is what you desire. If you focus on leading people, you will be a leader. The longer in which you do it, you'll be a leader better. Once you become better, you'll get to excellent. Once you get to excellent, you'll become an expert at it. However, I never said perfection. I never said perfection. Perfection needs to get thrown out the door because it's what trips people up all the time. You can't be perfect at it because we are not here to be a perfect people. We are here to strive for excellence. That's to happen every single day. But I want everybody to know you can lead. Then people say, well, if everybody is leading, who's to follow? You want to know the problem? The bad leader thinks I'm supposed to have a flock and everybody is to do as I say. That's a dictatorship. But your ultimate goal as you are a leader is to create other leaders with you to walk side by side with you, everybody pushing and moving towards a goal. Now, if you can get those concepts, an MLM will be excellent for you. And some people who are new may not understand what MLM is. An MLM is multi-level marketing. That's all it is. Now, let me break out what multi-level marketing is for you. If you work for a company, you have your CEO, you may have your president, your vice president, and then it keeps going, operations manager, and it keeps going down the chart. Okay? It just keeps going down the chart. In the traditional, you taking on a salary in that position, everybody is paid from the person at the top. Now, they then choose how much you're supposed to get. Maybe it's $20,000 a year. Maybe you're $30,000. You're $50,000, but that is capped. So I want you to understand this. When people say, hey, my mama, my grandma works on a fixed income, I was like, do you work for somebody? Yes. Do they give you a salary? Yes. Baby, you on a fixed income too. When you work for somebody, you have a fixed income. It is determined what you make in a specific time frame. Okay? So that's the corporate structure. Guess what? The MLM is the same way. The only difference is down that full chart and that chain, you're not on a fixed income. Literally, everybody that's in that chain affects each other. The pay structure is different. The time, you could be at a coffee shop. You could be in the bed. You could be at home. But when you're in that other structure where you are on a fixed income, you are sitting at your desk. You're in a move past word, tongue tripping. You are in a section in an area that they have told you this is where you're going to be. Okay? So I want you to understand that if you work for somebody, you've been working in an MLM structure. You've just been in a structured salary. There's no difference. But let me tell you what happens differently when people go into the environment where the boss has said you're $30,000. They put you on a fixed income. You work different. Most do. They work different, knowing they have to work together to reach the goal. The person at the top decides to say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is where we're going. This is our mass objective, right? Then you go out and you reach the mass objective. Maybe you're the secretary, right? And the secretary has an amazing, you got to answer the phones. You got to keep the person in order. You got to do everything that you need to do to keep. Maybe you're the executive VP. Your boss is the executive VP, and you're keeping them in order. That's your job. That's your role. That's what you play. Guess what? What people don't realize, though, that's a leader. That's a leader. That's someone who is leading the administrative portion of the team. Let them drop the ball. Let them not answer the phone. Let them not have the emails. Let them not have the this. Guess what? We're going to have a problem. Things are not going to get done the way that they need to. That's going to be a problem, right? And then let's take a little step further. Be the secretary and don't keep on not answering the phone. What's going to happen? You're going to lose your money. You're going to lose your job. You're going to get replaced. So when we take that over into MLM, we seem to think it's changed. It's now not different. Now I must be the CEO. No, you need to be the leader. You need to take your role. You need to understand your role. You need to output your role. That is extremely important in a leader. So when you're in this infrastructure, remember what I said, throw away perfection. Because if you're trying to be perfect, you're going to screw yourself. There's just no way we can do that. What you want to do is strive to be the best at what you do. That's a constant. Every single day.
Yes, please.
To be better at what you do. Sorry, I had to mute you down. So, when I think of where we are, I see we need empowering of understanding leadership. A leader does not know everything. Just so you know this. So in your team format, and it works, if you come on in and we're moving you towards, if you come on in, make sure you're muted, people. Thank you. And I ain't gonna say people, ladies. Make sure you're muted. Stephanie, can you mute yourself, please? I'm trying. It's not letting me. There we go. Thanks. Okay. So you're not to be perfect. There's no way you can be perfect. It's not going to happen. So in this structure of where we are, say, for instance, you are a Ruby. That's where I'm going. And you're looking down, and now Ruby is the first sign. Usually, executive is 2. Once you get to Ruby, now you have 3 people. One of them is executive with 2 underneath them. And that's what I personally, being in this business, have noticed that a little bit of the anxiety starts to happen. It's like, okay, now I got these people. Y'all all going to look at me like this. They're not showing up. They're not answering calls. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. What am I supposed to do? How do I get to the next level? Well, I want you to outframe out. I want you to think back into your corporate job, because most of us have had them, right? Think back in your corporate job and you're working on the team. And the team is not doing what the team needs to do. What would you have done in that environment? What would you have done in that environment? You want to know what most people would have done? They would have took on maybe 2 positions. They would talk to the up person and say, hey, we need a little bit more resources because these things are not happening. They would then become resourceful. They would maybe change the time of the meeting, the structure, or even to have, if you're somebody who's maybe a manager in a corporate setting, you would then have a one-on-one and say, hey, what's going on? You know, do I need to provide additional resources to you? Are you not understanding something at this specific level? Like, help me understand so we can do what? We can get the mass goal together. So what I wanted to do in this training was to help you realize that some of the things that you're doing in other environments literally can be pulled here too. Because I said when I first came to the door, business is business. It's no different. Where it changes is in the mind. Oh, this is different. No, it's not. But if you see it as being different, you treat it different. You can't act the way that it needs to. Brittany, where your pink cup? I'm missing your pink cup, girl. Your pink cup. So.
This morning.
I know. Okay. We'll catch it. So that's where people get tripped up. They don't realize the same way I'm empowered in my corporate job is the same way I'm empowered over here in an MLM, because it's the same infrastructure. So, to talk about that leader that creates leaders, if a person isn't doing what they need to, they don't feel a part of the team. They don't understand the structure of the team, and they don't have a role. So a leader leads, but their responsibility, like if you're on a Ruby chart, your responsibility isn't to make sure everybody down here is doing what you do. That's not leadership. A leader would look out into each individual person, be able to talk to them, find out their strengths and their weaknesses, and pull them out. So maybe this person that's on here is a blue, right? But they're horrible with posting. That's not what they do very well. And they're really, every time you talk to them, you gotta as that leader on that chart, understand every time you talk to them and you're talking to them about posting, that's not their strength. So they're running away because they're going, as the leader, I'm not shining in my leadership. In my skills, I don't shine. So I'm less than. I'm frustrated. I got to back away. But if that person, let's think about the corporation. When they're sitting there and they're writing down what they're supposed to do, they be like, hey, listen, you over here, you go post because you're great. You come up with great content. You're not maybe the best at content posting. However, I realize you're really good with people. I need you to blitz. See, I'm great with people. Now I feel empowered. Now I want to show up. Now I want to be here because now we have something that I can contribute and I can give. I don't feel like I don't give anything to the team. And when people don't feel like they can add value, they roll back. They don't do it because they don't feel as strong as you. So as a leader, the leader has to look down to pull out qualities. To pull out qualities. Now listen, there's always going to be a time in which somebody does not reach back. Because you got to realize people have a life. Always. You ever worked in the job where people don't talk to you? You be like, okay, I'm in this other cubicle. Hey, girl, hey. Take it back over here. It's normal. It is. People have other things that are going on. Your job is to make sure that you are leading correctly to empower the amazing task in that person. But if you haven't had time to have a conversation with them, if you don't get to know them, know what makes them tick, you can't pull it out as the leader. It's just impossible because you don't even know what you're going for. So as a leader, you do need to understand your person's color chart. If you're on this training and you have not done the color training that's in your academy in the back, it's in Training Academy, and it's the color training to find out what your color is. Let's just even stop here. If you don't know your own color, that's important. That's a problem. You need to know your color. Then what I'll tell you is you want to take it a step further. You don't want to just know your own color. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. You can't just know yours. You need to know them all. You need to understand them all. Because guess what? A team is built of multiple colors. A team is a rainbow. You're not just going to attract yourself. If you're somebody that's a red and you're like this, which I'm a red. I'm somebody who's very here. I'm on point. I need this. Show me the money for real. I love the fact that Monday night was show me the money. But if my yellow is more service, and that's what makes her, I have to learn when I'm talking to her, pull that down. Let's go be yellow. What is a yellow? They're more servitude. Let's help build that leader in their level of servitude. Maybe she's not as structured and about the money, but me, I am. So those areas when it comes to being strategic, come back to me, my yellow. Come back to me, your red. My blue, who wants to be out in the party and in front of people. All of my blues that do not have strong internet presence, I don't start them out online. I don't give them scripts. I don't make them post. I don't do that. You want to know what I do? I empower them to be the best belly-to-belly they can be. So therefore, when they feel strong in that area, then I teach them how to take those same skills and put them online. But if as the leader, I was not paying attention, I was not looking down to see who I had, just what woman in which I was talking to, you want to know what's going to happen? They're not going to respond to you. They're going to back on out because guess what? It's foreign. So let me ask you this. What's your favorite sport? We all have them. What's your favorite sport? Say, for instance, you like football. Say, for instance, you like to bowl. I saw somebody with some bowling shoes down my timeline. Say, for instance, that's that, right? Imagine if the favorite thing, like me, for me, my favorite watch is football. I like football. I'm not really basketball. But every time we showed up, you thinking because Trayce likes football, she loves sports. So let me throw on the basketball game. you're going to lose me entirely. Because if it's not the championship or something like that, I'm not interested in regular whatever. All that fast back and forth down the court, it throws me. But if you perceived, because I like football, that I love sports, do you see how you can lose me? So as a leader, it's imperative to know who you're talking to. It's very imperative. That's number one. I'll tell you that. So when you get a new person on your team, let me tell you where you could be making an incorrect, you could be really not right, is bringing a new person in. New person comes in, you drop them in a group. Why? What if they hate groups? What if they have anxiety with groups? Not everybody likes what you like. Not everybody likes that. But if you could miss the cue by, oh, you know what? I really just want to be near you right now. You would know, pull this person on out, talk to this person, empower this person in what they're strong at, and then say, hey, babe, when you're ready, let me know. Then trust is built. You see how trust is built? But if you take a person, everybody, and you just take them and drop them in a group and say, hey, this is what we learn. This is what we train. This is what we do on Monday. This show me the money. Then when they ask a question and they're like, what's BV? And you go, you didn't read your executive training? I don't feel good. I'm like, dang, I just asked a question. And then when you treat me like that and I just asked a question, then I'm going to stop asking questions. And it's literally because the leader didn't understand who they were talking to. So as a leader, there's one step in that. And you know how you gain a relationship? Could you imagine this? Let me tell you what you would do as a leader. Let's go to customer, okay? We go to a customer. Customer's on the phone. Customer want to lose weight. Ring. Hi, yeah. I want to lose, I need to lose 100 pounds. Okay. All right. Yeah, I need to lose 100 pounds, so I need to lose. Okay, great. So our coffee is amazing. I'm about to send you out these coffee sample packs, and I'm about to help you get snatched, and da-da-da-da. And guess what? The person on the other end is going, I hate coffee. Would you do that to a customer? Or would you say, okay, tell me about things that you like, you don't like. What's your life like? Do you work out? Oh, you work out? You probably would like thermal fight. Oh, you have a problem with carbs? We have this amazing product called Fat Fighters. You don't want to do, you heard about the wraps, but you don't want to do that thing in the morning because you're not ready for that yet? Okay, well, then we can put that in another part. That's what you do with a customer, right? So take that from customer to distributor. Keep in mind, you walk closer with your distributors than you do with your customers. I hope you understand that. Just like if you work in a company, it's team us in the company. How many, that's outframe. Let's go back to where we used to work. How many of y'all would bond together? Say, for instance, you worked in something where you work in customers, where you had to work with customers, and this customer was crazy, right? How good did you feel to walk back and be like, girl, and you'd be like, oh no. Didn't it feel good at that moment to be able to drop that on him or her? That's where your team is. So if you don't understand that distributors are more important than your customer, you have a hard time. Because guess what? At the end of the month, when you, like where we coming up to right now, if you don't have a good relationship with your team, they're not answering you at the last week. They're going to do it. And you have a hard time getting your money. And it's literally because your team don't love you. Team is important. Leadership in team is important. And leadership learns other people. Just so you know that. Your leader, as you being the leader, you will learn other people. And then you're going to customize to those people. That's what CEOs do all the time. Don't think that I ain't got time for that. Then you don't have time to make your check. When you say that, watch your words. I don't got time to be getting to know everybody. I got time to make my money. Well, if you don't make time to get to know who's on your team, get to know what makes them tick, why did they say yes? Has it changed? Like, maybe they now have reached that goal. Maybe they literally just wanted to make $200 a month, and now they made it 200, and now they don't got a why anymore. So they've reached their goal. It's over. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, you over here trying to make 20,000, and you like, hey girl, come on, I need you to be this. See, it is very selfish as a leader to only see your goals and not other people. So if you're pushing them to reach your goal, you don't care about them. So when this is imperative, so when people ask me all the time, why are people not answering my phone? I always do the 5-finger point back, because that's always where it goes. Just so you know, again, sports teams, when the team is doing bad, the coach gets fired. So that's why I always point at myself. It's always back to me. It's always back to, did I talk? You know what? Did I reach out soon enough? Did I only reach out when I wanted something? In their perception. Like, maybe I was really just calling to say, hey, babe, I want to help you. But in their mind, they're going, oh, no, you need to go triple. That's why you calling me. Is that how they feel? If so, you are talking to grown women and men. You are talking to grown women and men that do not have to answer your call. You have to get as a leader to the point where someone wants to answer your call. Desires. When your phone rings, they like, oh, hey, Trayce. Hey, that's what you're going for. Now, in all things, you can't make everybody. Some people did not click and pay for them to get in there for the right reasons. But I'll tell you, it's not majority of the people. So if you look down in your list and majority of your team is not acting right, I'll tell you, I'll go back to entrepreneur world. When we talk and we sit at the table, we be like, is that a bad hire? Like, did you hire as the leader? Did you hire wrong? That's what we ask each other. Did you know what you were looking for when you hired that person? And I'll tell you, I've had bad hires now, and it's been on me. I was like, oh, I need somebody at the front. But I was like, oh, well, she should be cute. She should be nice. She should take care of people. But I needed somebody so bad in that position. I put them there, and then I had to let them go. Be free. Go away. Because I made the bad hire. So take that back over to here. When you brought someone on, did that person already start saying what they couldn't do when you were taking that 99? Were they already telling you, okay, well, I'm signing up to this because I'm going to try it, but I'm just letting you know I don't do meetings, and I don't like team members, and I don't want to build a team, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do this. But you were so focused on filling that box, you took the 99 anyway. See, if that's the case, I'm going to tell you why she is not calling you. Because she told you she didn't want to talk to you in the beginning. She said it. It's the same thing people do in relationships. The guy told you he don't want no relationship. He told you he'll never see himself being married. He told you all these things. And then 6 months later, when you done gave him everything, you wondering why he don't want a relationship. He told you in the beginning he did not. He said it. You have to learn how to listen to people. So are they a bad hire? Did you bring the wrong person on your team? Do you need to let it go? Let them go. Because I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that you can't do something about. And you just know that you know that you know you didn't do what you needed to do to keep them. Those are the ones that I'm talking about. The ones where you bad hired, I'm not talking about them. And do you notice how I always put everything back on the leader? Always. Because if you always put yourself in a situation, just like yesterday, as everything is always happening, it's happening to me, it's happening. You're a victim. You got to take that victim thing back. You have to be able to say, what can I do? Okay, I can talk to my team. I'm staying here because this is huge. And this is missed. In order to lead people, you have to understand who they are. Then when you understand who they are, a leader empowers them in areas that they're powerful. And then understanding the dynamics of a team, you're not supposed to know everything. So guess what? Amazing thing that happened to me. I'll share myself. Amazing thing happened yesterday. I am phenomenal in groups. I am phenomenal in advanced education. I've been doing this for 20 years as an entrepreneur. I am so far in some areas that it's very difficult, and it takes my body a whole bunch to go all the way back to day one. It is hard. It's like, okay. However, I'm a mass enroller. I can get a whole bunch of people to enroll and want to be with me. They've been following my dream, my journey, want to be on an entrepreneur, and they feel like if I was going to do this, I want to be with you. However, those type of people usually have huge pull, and their time is very limited. I can't be all things to all people, right? So that initial onboarding, it's hard to catch me in the middle. It is. It's hard to catch me at that space. So I, as a leader, had to sit back and say, where are my strengths and where are my weaknesses? My weakness is in that initial. That's my weakness. So what a leader does, a leader will go back and empower someone else. A leader knows how to delegate. But if you don't have a team, you can't delegate. If you don't understand your team, you can't come to your team and say, hey, Trish, I need you to do this. They're not going to do it because you don't know them enough for to ask them for anything. So now what I did, I said, Desiree, your strong point is that onboarding. Anybody who was on Desiree's training last night, you got a chance to see what I'm talking about. Can you help me as a leader? Because, see, a leader is not perfect. A leader needs to know how to go get people to do things, to delegate. So can you help me in this area? Sure, every Wednesday night. Guess who now gets to be a stronger leader in direction of where I'm strong? I'm good in strategy. So now I cover my weak side. Now Sherry is a master blitzer. You are on my list because I know Sherry isn't active. But Sherry isn't active because me as a leader have not empowered her in the blitzing section. So what we need to do is get offline. We need to sit down. We need to belly to belly. We need to have a conversation. And I need to find out all of her skill sets, her strengths as belly to belly. And then I need to have Sherry help me with my team with belly to belly. So now Sherry on this team holds that as a responsibility. Her job isn't to be on here doing Zoom trainings. That's not what she does. She's busy. She's an iron worker, right? So her schedule is crazy. So where is the time frame that I can go get Sherry to blitz and teach me better blitzing? Because I don't blitz. I like people to walk up to me. Sherry will walk up to anybody. Sherry, teach me that. Help me with that. But guess what? I don't need to master that. I need to empower Sherry to help me so I can be better at it because I don't want to master that. I want to keep what I have. But I want Sherry to be empowered, so therefore Sherry can come back and help me in my team. Sherry will want to stay on my team longer when Sherry feels just as powerful. Trayce is strong in this area, and she's strong in this area. So together, we're a force. That's how you team. That's how you lead. But if you are not recognizing that, you just can't because you don't recognize those are the things I'm supposed to do. But guess what? As a leader, so I'm going to take it back to the beginning. As a leader, if you don't know the strength in your team, you don't know how to play well. You can't let's take it to board games. You can't connect four. You can't Monopoly. You can't play spades. If you don't know how to play the game, how do you win? Could you imagine in Connect Four if you had the red and the yellow chip and every time you wanted to put something in, you just picked up any color? But when you're taught, this is this side, this is red, this is yellow, imagine what that could do. Oh, okay, now we can play the game. So that's the reason of this training today is to help you understand how to utilize your team, how to get to your team. So I'm going to make you a suggestion today, okay? My suggestion today is to go into your eSuite, look into your tree viewer, and get the names of the team members on your team. You are to reach out to your team. Guess what? Text. Let me give y'all the rules of texting. You should not text anyone until you've had a verbal conversation with them. And I think people need to know this now, because a lot of people were born in the texting and the what's the name era, and understand that this is not a way to build a relationship. Would you want the guy who was dating you to text you all the time? No. So if you have a disconnect with your team, you need to pick up the phone and call them. If they don't answer you immediately, they might be mad at you. They might be disconnected from you. So guess what? You got some work to do. Call again. Apologize. Have an act of servitude to this person if you want them to work on your team. I'm telling you what you're going to have to do. If somebody was mad at you, if you were mad at someone else and you were disconnected from them, would you respond to their text? Let's go human. Let's go empathy. No. But if they called you and said, hey, I realize I have not talked to you in this amount of time frame. I have not talked to you in this amount of time frame, and I'm really trying to figure out how I can aid you better, myself as well, because we all know it's about us. Some people don't respond to the tone of, I just want to help you, girl. No, you don't. You want to help yourself. So call them and be genuine. And if you're not genuine, you need to find a genuine space, because we are to be genuine to talk to people. So call them. If you're close near them, like some of us have team members, and some people have team members that literally live on their street, around the corner. Y'all see each other all the time, but do not have a face-to-face conversation. Have it. Find out, have their wives changed? Where do they see themselves in the company? What can you do to aid in where they see themselves in the company? I'm going to tell you, you're going to strengthen your team. You want to know what this practice is used? Now, let me outframe and put you back in the corporate environment. When you aren't doing well, where do you go? Where does your boss call you? To the office. He does not send you an email about all the behaviors that you need to correct. He calls you in the office, you one-on-one, so we can talk. What's happening? That's where it starts, in the conversation, in the talking, in the one-on-one. In the event that you have brought somebody new into the business, stop, halt. Do not drop them in all of the things that we have here. Talk to them, figure out what they want, what they desire. Do you desire team capacity right now? Did you see yourself bringing people on? Some people just really want them to be able to come into the business and then just sell the product. They may not want to be a team. They may not want to be on your chart that way, but could you imagine if you don't know that and you're trying to make that person diamond? Because your goal is to get them to diamond. You need personally enrolled diamonds. You need more money. But guess what? If they're not that, you're not going to get it. It's going to end the relationship, and it's literally because the communication wasn't there and you didn't know what they wanted. There's beauty in what everyone wants. There's beauty in it. But if you don't know what they want, you can't give them the beauty in what they desire. I can tell you some people on my chart are fine at distributor. That was all they needed. They needed just an extra $100 to $300 to fill the gap in their budget. And remember, that's what you said when you posted it down. Who needs $200 to $300? So how do you get somebody who needs $200 to $300 and now want them to want $10,000? Their vision wasn't there. Have you noticed that the further you've grown, the more your vision grows? Have you noticed that? Like at some point in time, I remember when making six figures was a conversation, but I didn't see it as a possibility. So when people ask me what I wanted, that's why people ask you, what do you desire in your salary? Okay, I desire $40,000. Now, as my grow up as a woman happened, as my bills changed or whatever, I needed $60,000. That changed over time, but nobody could change it for me. But when I was asking for $40,000, if somebody would have been like, okay, I know you want $30,000, but I'm about to make you make $100,000, and you got to be a senior VP, and we got to go, and you got to be on these meetings, and I'll be like, oh, I got to find a new job. I'm not ready. That's not where I am in my life. That's why it's imperative for you to really be able, and it's not really discerning. It's asking. It's not discerning what people want. That's where people get screwed in the head. Just ask. What do you desire? What do you want? Leader. What do you want? Other leader aside from you. See, if your visual does not see them as leaders too, you'll miss it. You'll totally miss it. It's not, I'm up here and that's my team. Do you talk down? Look at how you did. Like, do you do this? This is my team. Down there. Or is this my team? Hold hands. How do you lead is everything. How you lead is everything. If everybody is underneath you and they came in as to be an entrepreneur, you will not get them to work with you. Because literally you're talking down to me. Guess what? Talking down to is the reason why people do not want to be in your traditional working environment. Because you're looking down at me in the chart. I want to walk with you. I want to hold your hand. I want to be on you. I am a leader if I'm a distributor. Guess what? You can have people that have poor leaderships that have made it all the way to the top as an ambassador. But yet they talk down to their team. And I say all the time, that's how things crumble. It will come a tumbling down. It will come shattered down. But the ones that literally hold hands and walk together. Think about flying, football, touchdown, whole team. You want to know why? Whole team made the touchdown. It wasn't just Favre. You get it? It wasn't just that one person. It was everybody. But guess what? No one would care if he made the touchdown if he never was inclusive to the team. And guess what? Let's take it further. He wouldn't make the touchdown. Because when you got ready to throw the ball, or when somebody needs to be covered, I don't know if you know football. I'm speaking from this. And the quarterback gets sacked, I'm always like, oh, what he do? Because somebody didn't block for you. Somebody didn't care. Somebody saw somebody about to knock you clean out, and they moved aside. That's no relationship, man. There's just no relationship. So guess what? You can't win the championship without the team. Maybe your championship is Ruby. Maybe your championship is Emerald. Maybe your championship is Diamond. You will not win. Not. That's the only thing that's guaranteed. You will not win without your team. It's not going to happen. So as a leader, you have to empower voices. So I'm going to give you 4 things that are the qualities that you want to be able to possess as a leader. Okay? 4 things. There's always more, but I'm queen of chunking stuff down to where it's just, can you just get it? Like, stop talking so high over people's head to show that you're so much more educated when they don't understand a word that's coming out of your mouth. It's too hard. So I like to chunk down 3, 4 tasks, make them fun, make them short, sweet things people can remember. Like yesterday, you need to decide. You need to commit. You need to resolve. You can remember that. So I'm even telling you, in my leadership style, I always like to break down hard information to where it's understandable and where it's relatable. That's why I also too make sure I track people that are looking for that. Are you looking for somebody like that? I'm her. If you're not looking for that, I'm okay. That's not for me. What's your leadership style? You have to figure out what it is. For me, I'm a group girl. I can talk to you on the phone one-to-one, but when it starts getting to be a whole bunch of people, I can't. I can't. That's not my style. Desiree is one-on-one. So I've always said to her, girl, great, but I've been able to utilize that because so when people need more one-on-one, more people at the party, stuff like that, that's who I go to. And when Desiree like, hey, man, I can't. Listen, I'm over here trying to be focused, and she need all these details. Send it to me. Send it to me. That's who I am. But we've learned how to use and utilize each other's skills. We're both leaders. We don't have to be the same leader. Empower what needs to be empowered in that leader. And make them feel amazing for what they're great at. Because everybody is great at something. Everybody. Everybody has a skill set at something. As a leader, go find it. Leaders, 4 qualities. Number 1, They're decisive. It's not that you make the right decisions all the time, but a leader needs to be able to know when to pull the cord. Hey, y'all, listen, we struggling. Like right now, I know everybody eats sweet is horrible because mine ain't great. So I got to be like, hey, y'all, I know we're supposed to have fun today, but hey, today we out here. We doing this. As a leader, you got to know when to pull the cord. You got to know when we got to do what we got to do. You got to know when you got to have self-love. Majority of us are mothers. Be a mother at this point. Like, that's what I can equate it to. Be a mom. Hey, y'all, we got to do this. You have to be decisive. You have to make the decision. Number 2, a great leader is resourceful. They're not going to sit around and wait for other people to tell them what to do, when to do, how to do it. If you don't answer my phone call, I'm going to YouTube. If YouTube can't answer it, I'm getting on somebody else's training. If my team don't have a training, I'm going over here. If my leader isn't posting the way I want to, I'm going to go find something somewhere else. Leaders are resourceful. They go get it. Regardless. They relentless. They want it. They go get it. As I have right here, they get it done. They hurdlers. Remember yesterday? They duckers, dodgers. Hey, man, I want it. I need it for my family. I got to do this. A good leader is resourceful. Can your whole team, what you want in your team, you want everybody to be hurdlers, right? So this is something that has to be pulled out. In that leader, empowered. You are great. You can do this. I know you can. That's the reason why I asked you on my team. So remember what I said. Don't do bad hires. So you ain't lying when you're saying, that's the reason why I want you here. You better make sure who you're signing up. Don't just be putting people in the boxes that you don't want to call your phone. You want people who desire to be resourceful. Okay, I'm at work. Guess what I desire on my team? I'll tell everybody this in resource. If you work all day, I expect you to stay up at night because that's what I would do. I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to have this training before I go into the salon. I'm resourceful. I'm going to go find a space to get it done. Being on my team, I expect you to get it done. I don't expect you to have to come tell me, I got to do it at this time, this, whatever. Hey, I want to trust that you're going to get it done. You are another grown woman. I expect you to get it done. When you say, hey, Tracy, I got my 400 box, I expect you to be resourceful. I expect you to get on the phone. I expect you to call people. Get on, do a host a post. If I don't have a grind, I expect you to go grind. In my leadership style, I want resourceful people. I desire them. And when people are resourceful, if anybody has ever done something on my team amazing, what do I tell you? Girl, yes! I'm your biggest cheerleader. Go! Because that's what I desire. I want you to walk with me, not underneath me. I want you to be my partner in this. Number 3, a great leader serves with a higher purpose. They serve with a higher purpose. Me on my back, as a leader, I like to know why you're doing what you're doing so I can carry it with me. So it's no longer just about myself. I know I want to stay at home. I know I desire to be with my kids, but it makes me push harder when I know Melissa is out here fighting for hers too. Sherry is fighting right now. I know Sherry wants to come out the rat race. She said over and over and over again. So that now comes into my brain. You understand? You serve at a higher, you're very purpose-driven. You have to understand that motive matters. Motive is amazing. It matters. So maybe sometime as a leader, if you don't understand your why and you really are about servitude, could you take on everyone else's reason why? Could you just help because she desires this? You know what? I can't find my reason why, but because I love Desiree and Desiree wants to be presidential, I'm going to go hard every day because Desiree wants to be presidential. That's what a leader would do. A leader would say, hey, we got to get to the top. I don't know. I can't find mine right now. My team is crumbling a little bit, so let me go help you with yours. It will give you a new sense of purpose, and it will dig your roots. Remember we talked about roots? It will put your roots a bit deeper in your leadership, literally because you can carry things on your back. Now, I'm not telling you to carry ignorant stuff. I'm telling you to carry someone else's torch. I'm not telling you to carry the fact that they won't answer the phone, they ain't doing their business. Now I got to do that. That's not the That's not what I'm asking you to carry. I'm asking you to carry her victory. You know what? I'm at home. She wants to be at home. Let me help her get at home. You will help her promote that way. That's what a leader does. And number 4, which most people think is number 1, is influence. Number 4 is influence. And influence used correctly just moves people forward in life. Your being, how you function, how you do everything makes someone else want to go get it. It's inspiring. You can only inspire people. You cannot motivate them. So from a leadership perspective, are you inspiring? Do you get up every morning? Do you go get it? Do you post every day? Do you belly-to-belly blitz? Do you have an amazing team of people that run and follow you? That's influence. But if you're not doing it, it's like influence. Everybody has influence who's doing something, who has somebody else watching. If you're a mom and your children are watching, you have influence over that. Now, can you take what you do for your kids and can you translate that over to your team? Then you're going to have more influence. Now, if you translate it over to your team, can you translate it out into social media? Well, now people who don't know you want to be influenced by you. They want to be positive. They want to get up in the morning. They want to have an amazing business. That's what a leader possesses, is their ability to influence. I'll tell you, influence is always thought of to be positive, but it's negative too. Have you ever looked online and saw somebody who just talked absolutely crazy, and you're trying to figure out how they got 100,000 followers? You want to know why? Because they pushed people to do what they do. That's all influence is. It's not good or bad. Influence makes other people want to do what you're doing. So if you want to get the positive side, if you want them to do things that you want them to do, you have to model the behavior. You have to be what you desire. Instead of thinking, in order to get somebody, I'll tell you this, if you're arguing with somebody about doing something, say for instance, you're trying to get them to want to show up for training. The way to get somebody to show up for a training is not to yell at them to show up for the training. You want to know how it is? It's to model the behavior. Show up for the training. Keep showing up for the training. Take a picture of yourself at the training. Send it to them. Show them this is how you're developing. I'm in trainings every morning. Hey, girl, I missed you. I was in training this morning at 8 a.m. and I didn't see your face. Tomorrow. Hey, Tuesday. I was in a training this morning. I didn't see your face. Show the picture. Show everybody that was on it. Wednesday. Hey, I was in a training. You're modeling the behavior. So therefore, when you cross the finish line and you promote, guess what they're going to know? She promoted because she was in training. I wasn't. And then eventually you'll look on up and they're in the training. Because they desire to model your behavior. The hard swallow for everybody is maybe they're not doing it because they don't see you doing it. That's the hard swallow. You're asking me to lead, but I'm leading from you. So guess what? You want them to jump on training. Do you have your own training? Do you train your team? Is there a place where they can come get you? If there isn't, you haven't showed them training is valuable because you don't have a space to train. So it's not valuable. That's not what helps you. It was the other person that helps you. Do you see how modeling of behavior is it's huge? So you're saying, I don't understand. I tell people to post all the time. But guess what? What they're doing is going back to your wall. And they're like, you don't even post. Goodbye. I'm not answering your call. I'm not going to do it. You don't do it. Oh, so you want me to do what you don't want me to do? Because this is where the brain starts tripping on it for people. Oh, so you want me to do it so I can get you some money? You want to know why? Because your behavior isn't there. That's the reason why. So you say, hey, I am putting together all of these meetings and nobody is showing up to them. Have you talked to them? Are they walking with you? Or do they feel like they're under you? Does everybody know their role? Does everybody know what they are? Power players. Power players. People who want to be entrepreneurs want to be powerful. So where are they power playing in your business? If you haven't empowered them to be powerful, they will not show up. So remember, I'm big on 5-finger, come back. Now, are there rules to where you do what you're supposed to do and then they still don't? Yes, we have kids. You tell them stuff to do, you know it's good for them, and they don't. Keep in mind, that portion's on them. But what you're always to do is to stay the model. Always. Your kids act bad, they always can come back, right? Same thing in organization. When they pull you into the office and they put you on the couch, put you in the chair, and they're trying to correct your behavior, there's always a time to go back out, fix it, come back. Always. It can't be the moment I don't do something. Oh, I was calling, I was doing everything, and at the moment I don't do something right, you want to go call me? You'll lose somebody that way. Big time. You'll lose somebody that way. What you do in the midst of other people not doing what they're supposed to do, you stay the model. You wear your clothes. You get up. You blitz. You create the training. You create it. Those that are desiring will show up. But I will tell you, if you talk to a room of one, you're going to have a strong one with you. Then when you have a strong one with you, you're going to have a strong two with you. Don't doubt the process. Because if you doubt the process can't start, it can't begin, and guess what? It keeps crumbling. It's never going to stay. Be an amazing model. As a leader, be an amazing model. If you're an amazing model, and be patient. It's not going to happen. I'm an amazing model. I'm showing up. I got the trainers out here. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Now what I'm supposed to do? Keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it regardless. Because everybody does not reach the top at the same time. Look at a race. Look at a race where we are in a marathon, right? Everybody is at the start at the same time. All had the same opportunity. Does everyone cross the finish line at the same time? No. Some people have trained harder. Some people have been doing it longer. Some people's reason why to cross that finish the race is different. Some people had to make, there's money at the end of them races. Some people needed that. Not just wanted it, they needed it. So they trained harder. They came after it harder. Some people get to the middle of the race and just start slowing down because they started so fast. Even in the movie we saw, McFarland USA, started so fast, ran out of gas. Somebody else had to pass the torch to be able to keep going. We all do not reach the end at the same time. But if you make people feel bad for it, they'll get out the race. Because guess what? You told me there's no way I could be great at it. I just might as well go do something else. And then that's when you hear people say, this other company, I'm over here. Because guess what? Now they're looking for somebody to do these same things with them, to talk to them. You'll be surprised. Somebody else could leave you literally to go somewhere else that's actually worse than the organization in which you're in just because they talk to them. They don't talk at them. They talk to them. They figure out what they want, they desire, how they can help them. They pour into them. So I'll say this, these trainings are amazing. I'm giving you all entrepreneur training to pour into you, but I'm giving you a call to action. Do you pour into your team? If you don't, start today. Do it today. It's imperative to your growth. It's imperative to your chart being what you desire. Take the chart away. Don't pay attention to promotion. Pay attention to building brick. Not straw. 3 little pigs. We don't want that house. We don't want nobody to come blow and knock it down. So what's first in every organization, and I know I'm challenging thoughts with this, it's not the customers. If you want to have a strong business, it's not the customers. It's your team. It's the people that walk with you, not under you. Your strength is in your team. In the event that you have a team that you feel like, hey, they not doing it, then guess what? You need new team members. Don't be afraid to bring something near you that's for you. I didn't say it so easy. Like sometimes we say things that's so easy. Like, oh, it's not that easy. I got to go do whatever. I'll say this. You did it before. You brought the wrong ones on. So you got the wrong ones to be able to commit. You can go get some good ones to commit. What did you do during that time frame? Were you posting a lot? Were you talking to a whole bunch of people? Were you being more intentional? Go back to that behavior. Because that behavior brought you on in. Maybe at that time you didn't have the knowledge. See, remember I showed you yesterday, there's beauty in failure. Now that you know what you don't want, you know what to look out for. Don't get out of the race. Go back in. Now you know what you don't want. Okay, I don't want somebody who's already telling me what they don't want to do. I made that mistake next time. Next time, I'm going to listen to people that want to be on a team. That would be it. There's a lot in entrepreneurship of learning, falling, failing, getting back up. Learning, falling, failing, getting back up. That is constant as an entrepreneur. When people stop growing is when they expire. So if you are looking for the place where I get to this pinnacle of I know everything and I don't have to learn anything new, you're going to expire right there and roll backwards. That's going to be the max of where you can actually grow. You're always going to be learning. But once you learn, put it to action. So I hope you've enjoyed this training this morning. Finding your leader voice. What is it? What is a leader? I hope you're not afraid of being in leadership. I hope you understand what a leader is and how a leader does not have to have all skill sets. A leader needs to know how to delegate. They need to know how to bring people on that are I love in my team right now. I need more belly to bellies. I need more blues. So I'm looking for more blues. As a leader, I have determined that is a weakness of my team. So I need more people of that can teach the other ones on my team how to be better blue, how to be better in their blue. Because the perfect is the rainbow. We all should strive to have pieces of them all. There's one that's a dominant force, but you want them all. So in order for me to be good in my weak spot, I got to surround myself with that. So guess what? When I first came in this business, I didn't know that. I didn't know I needed more blues. As I started building one way, thinking I needed red. Well, now it's so much red, it's not balanced anymore. It needs more heart. It needs more servitude. It needs more blue. So as a leader, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm trying to pull out of people. I can see the weaknesses, so I'm taking the time to pull them on out. Taking the time constraint off. I got to go get this because this promotion is here. You're going to screw yourself that way. If you don't know what you want, you'll chase anything. Any and everything. So, thank y'all for tuning on in. I'm about to open this on up for questions. Those who have not been on the training, maybe if you don't see these, because somebody asked me that, if you're on the training, you get to ask questions that are pertinent and detailed to your business because we're here. And also, too, this is the time in which they share. So me as a leader, I know sometimes people don't share because they don't want everybody to hear what they got to say. So that's why I do not record the questions, because maybe you weren't ready for all that. This gets asked out to the whole team. Maybe you didn't want that. So if you want your question answered, please make the time. Come to the meeting. If you're at work, be resourceful. If you're at work, be resourceful. Put it in your ear. Turn your screen off. Put it in your ear and listen, because it's imperative to your growth. But that's being resourceful. Be resourceful. These trainings should be packed. They should be. I'm teaching you how to be better at what you do. They should be. But guess what? I'm not going to turn the training off because you're not here. I'm not going to do it. My job is to train. It's to lead. I'm a strong leader. So see what I'm showing you? Regardless, I don't care. It should be packed. What if I had an ego and said, hey, I ain't going to do it because everybody didn't show up? I would unfuel my own fire. I get fire from this. I wouldn't start my day correctly. I'm responsible to me first. So I got to do this. And then I output to you. And then that sets on fire. And then that goes on out. Could you imagine a wildfire? Could you imagine? So when I say connected to serving higher purpose, that's what I'm going for, y'all. I'm going for an entire organization on fire. So if I carry that on my back, every morning I got to bring fire to create fire, right? I got to go set people on fire to do a wildfire. So that's what I desire. So I have taken on a higher thing that has nothing to do with me, so I stay in the race. Something else, looking for it. What else am I going to be able to do? So I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow will be time management. I'm going to teach you how to chunk tomorrow. This is dope.